هذا سلام فلم السلام نظرة تؤلم قلبي في المنام كلام بعد كلام وعين تنزف ماء في فضاء بين فضاء لا مكان له في الوجود
Welcome, dear yogis, to my little online space. Today, I would like to guide you through a Yin Yoga practice. Thank you so much for trusting your time with me through grief and sadness. Yin Yoga teachings are based on the traditional Chinese medicine system, and the sequences are built around the main meridian lines in our body. In the TCM system, emotions of grief and loss are stored within the lung meridian and is worked upon along with its yang counterpart, the large intestine meridian. With today's practice, we will create space for the grief to be felt and released, and observed and surrendered to in this process without judgment. I would like you to keep in mind as we progress to be curious in exploring your limits, to commit to stillness once you've found a comfortable stance within the pose, and holding that stillness during a long period of time. Thank you so much for trusting your time with me, and let's begin our practice today. So we're ready to move our bodies. So begin with coming into a nice comfortable seat. You can have a little cushion. I'm seated on a little block. So if you want your hips to be elevated a little bit, it just feels a little bit more supported and comfortable. And use all the support that you can use right now in this practice. We're going to drop our chest forward, shoulders are dropped back. So you can see my upper part of the body opens up a little bit. So from this position, if I was seated, when I allow myself to drop forward a little bit and tilting my pelvic floor, I nicely open up here. And I'm going to have my hands resting on either side of the knees. And I'm going to have my eyes closed, coming into a soft, deep breath. Maybe the first few big, deep exhales, releasing everything down. One more deep inhale all the way in. And drop completely through the mouth. One more afterwards, nicely down. One more time. So allow the shoulders to be soft, chest is open. And you're going to bring your awareness into your heart. So maybe bring your palm, rest in your heart center, and the other hand is going to be on your belly. Just going to take a moment to feel your own heartbeat, feel your own aliveness, and notice all the emotions that come through as you bring this awareness. Keep breathing with the sighs. Then bringing your awareness slowly towards the lung meridian. So I'm going to put my hair back so I can show you in my body which meridian point we are speaking of. So the lung meridian goes from the shoulder all the way down to the tip of the tongue. And the large intestine meridian goes from the tip of the index finger all the way up towards the shoulder. So we're going to start with this inner shoulder point. Maybe make a little circle here. Notice this point. And moving out towards outer shoulder and moving your hand all the way down, coming towards inside of the elbow. And then from here, we're pushing it all the way down, outside of the wrist, and the outer edge of the thumb and to the point. And take a moment to move or put pressure into the tip of the thumb. So this is the lung meridian point that goes all the way up. So notice it's also available on the other side. So we're going to move to the other side. Start with the inner shoulder and move from there to the outer and go all the way down. Put a little bit more pressure. Notice the sensations in the body. And go all the way down, outer edge towards the tip of the thumb and start rubbing the tip of the thumb. So even though we start the lung meridian from here, this is a superficial meridian line that begins. It actually goes much deeper. So it goes into the collarbone towards the heart, lungs, and then connects to the large intestine as well. But this is all more inward. It's more deeper line. So we're going to work on the outer line now. And from the tip of the index finger, we're going to move up that finger, go to the outer edge, and go along this outside of the hand, coming up. And this, we're going to go into the collarbone, up the neck, towards the side, and come up to the edge of the mouth, over the upper lip, onto the other side, in the outer crease of the opposite nostril. That is the large intestine meridian line. So we're going to try this on the other side. Bring awareness into the tip of the index, moving it up, outside of the upper arm, coming up towards the shoulder, collarbone, going up, and so come into a bit of stillness with your eyes closed if that's available for you, to visualize this meridian point. Both lines that we activated, we brought our awareness to, and having the intention that whatever block that we have in this area, allow it to move through and open up through the rest of our practice. And bringing your palms into your heart, remembering your intention. And as you remain here in silence, let me read you a little quote. So this is a little verse that I picked from verse 16 of the Tao Te Ching. And I hope this will give some light and guidance as you move through the practice today. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Let your heart be at peace. Watch the turmoil of beings, but contemplate their returns. Each separate being in the universe returns to the common source. Returning to the source is serenity. It's okay to let emotions be felt fully. Let the practice carry you, my friend. So starting with, we're going to move away the little block we have. So maybe come on to sitting on the ground. If your legs were closed up for a while and if it's uncomfortable, you're welcome to open them up a little bit, coming into a little windshield. And then we're going to bring our knees in on both sides. So maybe we can have our knees a little bit closer, but maybe with a little gap. And the toes are on either side. We're going to rest our hands here, coming into a soft deep breath. And exhaling. We're going to stay here for a few minutes. So find support. If this position is uncomfortable, you're welcome to bring your blanket alternative behind your back and you can sit on it. If this is a lot of pressure on your knees, increase the height of your seat. Either use a block or a blanket. And resting the hands. And if this is very comfortable and available for you, we can also go a little bit deeper into the practice. And if this is very comfortable and you can increase the practice, you're welcome to coming into lying on your back from the same seat. So you're going to have your knees in and the toes are extended. And maybe I'm going to use the blanket behind me for this one. So I'm sitting on the edge of my blanket. And then from here, I'm slowly going to lean back, coming into my elbows. If this is what's available, we can stay here. And you can relax the neck and come into your deep breaths. If you feel you can go a little bit deeper into the practice, gently bring your back to rest on the ground and open up. And slowly starting to walk your hands up, come onto your elbows first, maybe one after the other. Support your spine and bring yourself up. Then from here, we're going to drop into a child's pose. So allow the head to drop. If your head doesn't reach the ground, you're welcome to use a block or a cushion. So it's supported and allow the head to be here. If this is a lot of pressure on your knees, you're welcome to bring some support under your knees, or you can bring your feet a little bit closer and increase the height of your blanket behind you. And sit on this support and then drop the body forward. You can either have your arms in front of you, or if it feels more supportive, they can be behind you. Then slowly starting to bring your hands up on either side, bringing the chest up and coming out of your child's pose. So from this child's pose, We're going to bring our knees back a little bit. So you're centered on the mat. And maybe move away the support from underneath. Or if you'd like, you can have this under your knees. If your kneecaps need a bit more support, sometimes like I do, we're going to move the block away. And we're going into bring the right hand all the way up, reach to the sky, comes all the way down and go all the way out here. Resting on the side of your head and extending the arm all the way out. So here you would want to feel a nice deep stretch opening around your chest and your side as well. So as much as possible, allow your shoulder to be resting on the ground. It might take a while for your body to open up, and that's okay. But once you've found your positioning, it's important to let the body relax so you're not engaging muscles unnecessarily. And now we're going to go into the other side. So walk the hand back first in front of your face. Raise your body. Bring the hand all the way up. Reach into the sky and then coming back. And now we're going to do it on the other side. Left hand comes all the way up. Reach. All the way come down and lean all the way back. Walking the right hand to the front. And starting to walk your right hand back in front of the face. Left hand comes all the way up, reach towards the sky, and then coming back down. And then from here, we are going to go into our Anahatasana. So maybe you can walk back a little bit. I'm just going to move back so I'll still be within the frame for you. So I will show you an alternative of how to use a blanket here. Yeah. So my knees are going to be underneath my hips, and I'm going to bring my chest towards the ground. So this is one place you can. If you would like, you can bring more support here in between. Maybe this is not too high for this, but I'm going to try and make it a little bit deeper. So I'm going to rest my chest here. Yeah. And drop to the ground. So if you have a big bolster, you're welcome to use it rolled up underneath your chest. This is not high enough for me to demonstrate it, but you're welcome to find the support. The idea is your heart feels supported and is landed either on the bolster or on the ground. And then starting to walk your hands back. Move the cushion from under, the blanket from underneath you. We're going to open the legs back a little bit and drop into a Sphinx pose. So in our Sphinx, we want to have the elbows underneath the shoulders. So minimum work is happening here. And then you can bring your feet a little bit closer. This intensifies it somewhat. And your chest is lifted, shoulders are dropped back. So this is one variation. If this is very uncomfortable, you can reduce the height. You can have a cushion underneath your belly, the support. So maybe something like this, so that you feel a little bit elevated. And we're going to breathe here. And as much as possible, come into full open breaths. Allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to relax and also work through the grief. That it is all right to allow yourself to finish grieving at some point in time. And from here, dropping down, bring the elbows up so the forearms are parallel towards the front of the mat. Right palm over the left, and your right cheek is resting on the right hand. And come into a complete relaxing crocodile. And from this position, I'm going to bring the blanket off my belly. Put it on the side so you can still see me clearly. And so I'm going to extend the right arm outwards. And I'm going to bring the left in front of my heart. And I'm going to roll myself on the right shoulder. And if this is your position, you are welcome to stay here. If you'd like, you can bend the left knee. And maybe you can stay here. If it's available, you can bring the knee over and open up on towards the outside of the foot. So you notice there's quite a bit of pressure that's happening on the shoulder that's on the ground. So see what is available for you. At any point, please avoid sharp pain. Reduce the intensity if that is the case. From here, you can bring the hand to resting. Another way to soften the or reduce the intensity is bringing a block underneath your head. So you're going to bring the hand to rest on maybe the side of the body or behind, and be resting here. And then rolling back slowly. First the arm comes down. Remove the block from underneath your head. Roll yourself back to the center. Leg comes down, and we're going to switch the side. So now we'll see my backhand movement on this side. I'm going to open the hand on outside. My left shoulder is coming onto the mat. And then I'm going to roll over pushing away. And if maybe on this side, this is where I'm going to be, that's fine. Maybe I can roll up a little bit. So I'm going to bend the sleeve and open up. And maybe I will bring the cushion from under my head as well. And bring the hand over and I slowly release the right hand up and to the ground. Roll myself back, put the leg down, and move the cushion away. And coming into my seat. So from here, I can roll over completely onto the side, onto the back of my body, and bring the knees up into my heart while keeping the hands extended on either side. Hands are resting on either side. Going to bring the knees in and drop the knees to the side. So this is one variation. If you would like to intensify it, you can put the right knee over and then drop it fully. So we're going to be on the back of our body, and then we're going to put the right knee over the left. So the right foot works as a weight for the left and drop into the ground. So this is one variation. If this is too intense, we can just have both knees together. So I'm going to try the more. Again, if this is still too intense for you, you're welcome to bring the mat underneath your knees so they are supported. Allow yourself to drop into that sweet long breath. And here, inhale coming into center, dropping in the opposite direction. So this time I'm going to use the more intense variation. I'm going to put the left foot over the right and then drop to the left side. Here I will use the cushion under my knees. And allow the head to twist in the opposite direction. So this is a more intense variation of the same pose. Maybe I'm going to reduce the intensity on my legs because I feel it quite strongly and it's becoming more uncomfortable. So I've uncrossed my knees now. So from here, I'm going to bring my knees back up. Going to hold on to my kneecaps and I'm going to rock myself front and back a few times and come all the way up into a seat. So what I'm going to do is I'll open this second mat in front of me. So I feel a little bit more cushioning under my feet. And I'm going to open the legs. Time is in front of me. And maybe I could roll this on the side a little bit so it's not so painful on under my heel. Yeah. So you don't want to go into your full extension. In each of these poses, you want to find a 50% limit and from there, see how we can soften into it. Yeah. So this feels like a nice 50% for me. That is comfortable, but can open up into a little bit more expansion. From here, I'm going to bring my right hand up and then drop onto the left side. So here we can always use a block here in between. And this hand can either be resting on your head like that, or it can go back onto the hips, whichever that feels nice. But where you want to feel the stretch is the side of the body. So this is what I choose. If this is very uncomfortable for you, you're welcome to bend your knee in and then have a block and then drop onto the side. Then slowly bring the hand up, straightening the body. We're going to extend both legs. So if this is your variation, you can be here. I'm going to bring my right leg in because it feels a little bit softer on my knees today. And I will have my block to rest my head. And the left hand goes up and down. And slowly opening the arm, moving the block away, coming up into your seat. Dragonfly, and then the shoelace with tight. Windshield wipes, half moon, Shavasana. Shoelace, windshield, half moon, Shavasana. And now we're coming into a little shoelace. So we're going to start with bringing your bent knee towards the center. So it's in central line of your body. And then the other knee, maybe walk it to the front of you. And if available, walk it towards the side. And then you can slowly use your other hand, but very gently. Please do not put too much pressure here. You're going to bring the hand and allow the right knee to rest on the left. So as you can see, because of my hip, so it's a structure, the anatomy is such that my heels, my hips don't open so much for the knees to touch each other, which is completely fine. So what I would do is I would have support in between here. So there is not too much pressure on this knee. And then I'm going to bring the left hand over and then come up. So I would either be resting here into my breath. Slowly releasing the hands. And then releasing the left. So we can do it on the other side. So we're going to bring the right knee in. And we're going to walk the left foot over the right. And allow it to slowly start bending. We're going to bring this block underneath to support. Go. And bring the hands over. And if the hands are too intense for you, you can have them closer to your chest and not bring it all the way. So I'm going to have it in the same, so my elbow is going to be at the same level of my chin. Slowly releasing the hands down. Gentle breath here, moving away the block and releasing the upper leg and coming up. And what we can do here is we're going to bring the feet up, lift out a little bit. Hands are resting behind you and go into what we call a windshield. So drop onto one side, maybe one breath here, drop into the other side, and one more on this side. Then we're going to open up both legs, coming into half moon pose. So in our half moon pose, this is also called bananasana in some of the Yin Yoga circles. I prefer the half moon pose because I think it's quite elegant and sweet. So in our half moon pose, we're going to have our feet together and we'll be lying on our back. As we lie on our back, make sure your hips are on the ground and they don't turn or come off the ground. You're going to walk the right foot as further away as you can. Make sure hips are on the ground and bring the left close to the right. There we go. Keep the left heel towards the ground as much as you can. If you'd like, you can also bring the left heel over the right foot, but keep the left hip towards the ground. Pardon, this is what I meant earlier. And the hands come up, and you're going to hold on to the wrist and pull it outwards so you feel a nice deep stretch on the left side of the body. And either you can rest here, or you can also bend your elbows and rest here. But keep that stretch on the left side going. And then releasing the hands, releasing the legs. Left comes over, right comes to the left. And then we are walking the left further away, while keeping the hips square towards the ground and bring the right close to the left. And hand is going to come over and pull to the side. And if this is comfortable, you can be here. I would like to bend my elbows and rest here.
Then from here, we're going to bring both feet back towards the mat. Hands are going to come on either side. So hands will be like a star, and the feet are also going to be open up like a star, allowing the feet to fall outwards, relaxing the body, and allowing yourself to drop into a nice deep shavasana here. And starting to bring your awareness back to your breath and your body. Maybe moving the fingers, the toes, circles at the ankles and your wrists. And bring the arm above your head, a nice deep stretch. A good yawn if that's available. And I'm going to bring your knees into your heart, hug them closely. Release the lower back completely. Maybe rocking side to side, just a nice sweet massage on the lower back. Then falling onto the right side of the body. Hand resting in front of your heart towards the ground. And having this intention that this support, the steadiness of the ground, will always be there for you, regardless of what you go through in life, regardless how heavy you feel in your heart, that this cool support of Mother Earth will always be there for you. So with that kindness, allowing to come into your heart, push the ground away, coming up into your seat. Let's take a few minutes just to check how you feel in your body, in your shoulders, in your breath. A sweet deep inhales here. Let us bring our hands together at our heart and take a moment to send blessings to the loved one who's not with us anymore. Sending light and love to their soul for their next journey. May their paths light up. May they find easefulness in their transitions. And may they always be surrounded by kindness in their oncoming journeys. May we give gratitude to the love that's shared with them throughout our lifetime. For all the beautiful memories we've had together. Now may we set them free with deep love and gratitude. Bowing our head below our heart. Coming up. Giving ourselves a nice big hug. Remembering that we will always carry us through all that is to come. With that, my practice comes to an end. Thank you very much for joining me in this journey. And may the blessings, the gratitude, the love generated through this practice be shared with my father's journey. And in the same way, may the love, gratitude, and light generated through this practice be shared with each one of your loved ones' journey who is not with us anymore. But know their love and their warmth will always surround us. Thank you.
My support comes in the form of a yoga teacher, a healing meditation guide, and a gentle facilitator to bring you home to your own healer within. If you would like to learn more, you can connect with me directly at Heal with Rana on Instagram.